Anyway.
Anywho.
Any hoozles?
Shall we get this thing going? We can officially get started?
Shall. I think we shall, Sir Gabe.
Sweet. Sir Brooke.
That'd be lady. That's lady to you. How dare.
Listen, I don't want to assume your pronouns, okay? I don't want to assume your royal
You just
your royal
did.
titles.
You just did.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of Starving Artists, the podcast. I am one of your hosts, Gabe Chandler, joined once again by...
Lady Brooke Butterworth.
Lady Bonnie Lath Brooke Butterworth.
And Bonnie Lad, Gabe Chandler.
Aye.
Gabe Chandler.
That's me. So, Brooke, how are you doing today? How's your Wednesday been?
Oh man, I've just been a dandling around, and by dandling, it's like a play on words of like dandelion picking slash not canoodling, because I'm not in a relationship.
I was going to say, canoodling has some connotations to it.
Almost canoodling my heart. You know, I'm having some relaxing me time. How about you? How are you?
Been kind of doing the same thing. I actually internet was down for most of the day today because Xfinity was doing some kind of work on our network in my area, in my apartment complex's area.
Ew.
So from I think it was from 10:30 until around 4, we didn't have any internet. So I was listening to videos on my phone, and I was also building an off-brand Lego University of Kentucky Wildcats football helmet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, one of my roommates, Trevor, we love Trevor, gave it to me for Christmas, and so I've been slowly kind of putting it together ever since.
I love Legos.
Lots and lots of teeny tiny pieces. Because this is like an off-brand, I can get it if you want me to show you.
Yes. I want to see your Lego set.
1 second.
The anticipation is just immense right now. It's growing. It's ever growing. I can't wait. Oh my gosh.
Whoa, no.
Ooh. Don't blur out the hat, the helmet.
The hat, yes.
Well, okay, that's awesome.
Ta-da.
Heck yeah.
You can see the UK
Heck yeah.
on there.
That looks like a football helmet made out of Legos.
Yeah.
But cooler than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Way more anatomically correct than I thought it would be, too. You could fit it on a dog.
You could. A very small dog. It would then break very quickly. Because this...
A trained dog.
It's not very structurally sound in some spots, especially the face mask area. Very wibbly wobbly. And,
are you going to glue it together? Or are you going to, destroy it and then build it back up again?
I might take the Craggle to it as a nice little Lego movie reference there for anyone paying attention.
I wish I knew that movie better. I loved it when I saw it, and I just completely forgot it.
It was so much better than it had any right to be, and I absolutely adored it. Same thing with the Lego Batman movie.
Yes. Oh, it was so good. So good. Well, today, I know we wanted to talk about headshots in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, what?
I was going to say the reason for that, or part of the reason for that, as I'm sure some of you who are watching the video have noticed by now, I shaved my head. I'm bald. I have no hair. My luscious red locks are now lost. Lost luscious locks. Yeah, lost luscious locks.
But between you and me, chicks dig it. Rouse.
I appreciate that. Hopefully it'll turn some results. Here's to hoping.
Yes, indeed.
But,
and, yeah. So he looks great, everybody. I can attest. This guy is dedicated to, I don't know how to best say it, but basically, the looks of an actor. So that was one of the things that we wanted to talk about in terms of headshots. Did you, I don't know, did you have any concerns when you did this in the beginning? Cutting off your hair?
It was a little bit, just because I wasn't sure. I mean, it's a big change. My hair has been fairly long ever since middle school. Like late middle school is when I first really started growing it out. Growing up, like, my mom had always, like, it was just being a rambunctious little boy, it was always easiest for my mom to keep it, pretty close shaved. And so we were able to, we wouldn't have to go get our haircuts very often because mom was able to just plonk us down on a stool on our back porch and then just take,
She
a
just
trimmer.
on a stool?
Yeah. Plonk us on a stool.
Yeah, that good old stool haircuts.
Yep. They're the back porch mom haircuts where she basically just took an electric trimmer and went to town, buzz cutting me and my brothers, once every couple months as we
She didn't take out a bowl.
It. Nah, that happened a couple of times. We do have a couple old pictures of me rocking the bowl cut, really rocking the bowl cut.
Ooh, that bowl cut.
I'm telling you. A peak 90s fashion, let me tell you. But otherwise, like, my hair was very, very short, and then I eventually was able to convince my dad, because I remember my dad being the one who was the most hesitant about letting me grow out my hair between him and my mom. And so I remember finally being able to convince my dad to, ever so slowly, just grow it out incrementally longer and longer until by high school, by high school, I basically had like I had like a Simba mane, like Simba's mane in The Lion King. That's basically what I was rocking.
Yeah, so you were basically, so I did that trick with my parents too, although I didn't realize it till I was older, where you mention something to them, if you mention out the entire idea, they're like, absolutely not. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you even brought that up. What? And then instead you go, is it okay if I just skip this haircut? I like it this length. And they're like, yeah, I guess so. Mm-hmm. And then you wait a little bit longer, and then you don't just come outright with your end goal. You kind of just weed your way in there, like weasel your way through the ever growing weeds of parenting no's and yeses, and you tricked them, you bamboozled them.
I hoodwinked them. I pulled it over their eyes. Pulled the wool over their eyes.
Completely over their eyes, and maybe the wool was your hair over their eyes.
Pulled my hair over their eyes.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can find an old picture or two of me with the long hair, the super long. Or no, I mean, you can just go back and, if you haven't watched episode 1 yet, you absolutely should. But you can go back and, watch or listen to episode 1, and you can see me with about as long as my hair got. It didn't get much longer than that. I might see if I can find an old... Nah, I might see if I can pull an old, like, high school picture or something of me and pop it up on the screen briefly just to see how crazy it looked for a while.
Did you cry when you cut it off?
No, I just so my roommate, I'd had to cut it short once before. So, like, I grew it out super long, and then I got my first job working at Chick-fil-A. And they don't allow guys to have super long hair working there. They are the
military.
Hair, really.
They're chicken militarians.
Chicken militants.
Chicken militants.
I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, I had to hack it all off. Hook it all off. Don't know what that was. I had to hack it all off for my job at Chick-fil-A, and so that was the first time where it really felt like losing it all. So that was my first time really experiencing that. So this a couple weeks ago when I did this, right after we recorded, the day after we recorded this, episode 1.
Shoot, man.
When my roommate Matt had shaved his own head before, and so I approached him, at one day that week, and I was like, "Hey Matt, you want to cut all my hair off?" And he said, "Yeah, let's do it." So after 20s and 30s, after we went to church for 20s and 30s, which is the young adults post college group at our church in Atlanta, we put a couple towels down on the back porch, got our electric razors, and then spent I think it was 45 minutes is all told how long it took to really carve through it all and get it down as close as we could. And so now I'm rocking the shaved look.
It looks great. It It really does.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But yeah, I mean, did you? Well, first of all, I wanted to ask you what the main reason why you did it was.
Well, so I noticed a couple of years ago that I was losing my hair. I was really starting to lose it. It was thinning, and it really wasn't growing in like this really awkward kind of like almost horseshoe shape on the front of my head, so that there was like from my essentially from like my temples and then around, connecting around, there was this patch where hair really wasn't growing back, and leaving almost like a unicorn tuft of slightly thicker hair right at the front in the middle.
Yeah,
And
who did we
so-
say you looked like hair wise? There's that. Remember that one guy? He was in The Holiday. He was also in Spy with Melissa McCarthy.
Jude Law?
Jude Law. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You had the
Law's a lot
Jude
better
Law
looking than me.
hair.
But I tried going that short at one point, and he has just a little bit more than I do in that spot, and so it
Well,
works.
I mean, stars also have the ability to pay for the Bosley stuff.
Oh,
The
true.
stuff that makes your hair grow. 'Cause
You insert dollar bills into the follicles, and that's how they do it.
basically, yeah. Because they have all the money in the world, they can look their best, therefore,
Yeah.
And that's the
So-
one thing I kind of envy with stars is they can continuously look their best because it is their job. Their face is
true.
their job.
It's true.
So,
And I know a lot
yeah.
of people in public forums will give stars crap for that kind of thing, but like when your face and when your body is your instrument, if you will, then you invest your time, your money, and your energy into maintaining that instrument that you're working. Essentially, it's part of the reason why I love acting, is because I'm able to use all of me to help tell a story. And so these superstars are in positions where they're making the big bucks, and so they're able to put more money into it. It's like
it's
know.
investing in their product.
Yeah, it's like a professional golfer when they get their first major endorsement deals, having access to suddenly golf club sets that cost in the thousands upon thousands of dollars. Like a single driver will cost like $1,500, $2,000 for a
Or
single
even
club.
more than that. I mean,
Yeah.
true. But even more than that, they even would have, if that's their profession, access to the best of the best medical professionals,
Yeah.
physical therapists who would build muscles for their certain swing to be just a little bit more altered and modified to get it even better and better.
Yeah,
And
so
it's the
like-
same thing with actors.
Yeah, and so our bodies are our instrument, and so we have to put our time and our money and our efforts into helping us reach the place to be able to perform the things we want to do.
Exactly.
And so this for me is like when I still had my longer hair, there's I guess I might have been confined a little bit more to comedy roles, but just based on that look. But now, so I've by changing, my body with this specific thing, I've now also changed what kind of things I can do with it. And so I need to
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. Like, it's definitely somewhat true. I think you definitely could be more visually like stunning in a villain role now, I guess. But I don't think just because you had hair, you were less attractive for villain parts or darker roles. I don't think your hair just made you a comedian. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I know, but like having it and especially having it the length that I did definitely lent it to those more comedic roles and maybe less so of the darker, more villainous type stuff. Not necessarily saying I'm going for
Interesting.
that now.
Interesting, because the last role you just did was in, my film that my nonprofit produced, and you were
True.
the trafficker. And I mean, your hair didn't stop you from playing that.
Well, true.
I don't think so. I think all actors struggle with this, including me. But I think a lot of actors put ourselves in boxes. Not that you are doing that per se, but I mean, Dax Shepard was talking in an interview once, and he was like talking about what role was it? Oh, it was a really big role. But anyway, so he had this haircut, right? And he was like, this is the haircut. This is what they want me for. They want me for my hair. It's long and it's perfect. And he went in for this part. He didn't get it. He had a callback and he didn't get it. And then he ended up getting a haircut for whatever reason. And he was like, that's it. Like, they're not going to pick me now. They ended up calling him back. He re-auditioned it and he booked it. And he's like, what? My hair didn't fit that part. Turns out he was wrong. So I just feel like things like that are just, sometimes you just got to let go of what you think you look like and get actual realistic. Like, I was talking to another actress it was a stunt woman the other day. One of my clients for personal training is a stunt woman. She also acts a little bit. And we were just talking about how we just realistically look at our bodies. We have to just be like, yeah, I definitely fit this part or I don't fit this part. But you have to be realistic. And sometimes I think some of us get stuck in the fatalism zone where we're just like, I can't get these parts. I don't fit these parts. My hair is too short. It's too long. I'm not
also,
a blonde.
That's a hardcore the fatalism zone.
I mean, it is though. It really is. Like,
is there a highway that goes to the fatalism zone?
The highway to hell. Hell of the career. Like, you're not going to book much if, first of all, you don't believe in yourself, and second of all, you say either no to auditions just because you don't think you'll fit the part, even though you're being asked to audition, or you don't even put your name in because you're like, oh, I don't fit that part. They will never view me in that role. It's like, you know, we can play multiple roles no matter what we look like. That's my belief, and that's what I've seen with other people's stories. Bringing us on to the subject of headshots.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, looping us all back around. Basically, I'm gonna need to get some new ones. So I've actually just recently had a little spur of the moment kind of photo shoot with our friend Natasha, who did a wonderful job.
I saw them; they were really
photos.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I wanted to, I needed to update, Facebook, LinkedIn, various profile pictures, essentially, showing off my new style. And so some of those, I actually had a buddy who works in post-production say that he thought that I could use some of those in the interim. But I need to get, some new headshots. Yeah, until I can get some official headshots taken. I might use a couple of those, like the main with the arms crossed, and then like the black and white one I think I can use.
Sure. So that's actually one of the things I wanted to talk about was the difference between color and black and white.
Launch into it. Swing away.
Yeah. So about 20 years ago, they were only taking black and white headshots. I don't know if you knew that, Gabe. Did you know that?
I did not, actually. That's a headshot fast fact for us.
Yes. So back when my professor in college was taking a run on the money and, going for acting, he shared with us, as well as many other, like, mentors of mine nowadays, they were like, back in the day, they only took black and white photos. That's my asparagus. Was he asparagus in VeggieTales? The asparagus?
Archibald Asparagus?
Ah.
Yeah, that sounds close to Archibald. We'll go with that.
Yeah, so you would have to have a VHS tape of your what the crap is it called? Oh my gosh, I'm just losing my mind. Right? Your reel. Yeah. So you'd have to have a VHS tape of your reels at every audition. You'd have to buy VHS tapes. Isn't that crazy? And you'd have to have a legit black and white photo. Nowadays, black and white's kind of not necessary. It's all color because there's no point in having black and white. We deal in color. We're going to see you in color unless someone's colorblind, but the rest of the world is not colorblind, so always color. Always color headshots, folks. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was exactly what we were just talking about, which is how we see ourselves. So we have to know what we're selling. We're basically close to prostitutes, not going to lie. Like, At least in terms of we are selling our looks, our voice, and playing characters. So we basically are selling ourselves. We are the product, which is pretty interesting. So with headshots, you kind of have to know the same thing. You have to know what you're selling. And so I took out the Actor's Life book with Jenna Fisher. She has this great section on headshots. Oh, there's too much blur.
It's all blurry.
But anyway, see this one? She looks really sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she actually talked about how that photo didn't help her career, even though it was a great photo of her.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And do you happen to know why, Gabe?
Why is that, Brooke? Tell me.
Well, Gabe, well, think about her part in The Office where she got her big break. Do you think that photo, the sexy, feisty photo, helped to get that part?
Going to guess probably not.
Probably not, no.
Probably
She would
not.
not have gotten a call-in or even an audition with that headshot there. That's not really... She actually did play a prostitute in one movie. I don't know why we're on the subject of prostitutes.
You brought it up. I didn't.
So, she, after The Office, I believe, she got a part playing kind of a dumb-ish prostitute with a big star. And she was the innocent kind of, like, version of the character. She kept getting callbacks and kept re-auditioning with people who were way sexier than her, and she was like, oh man, I'm never gonna get this. But they ended up going for the comedy part of her performance of the part, because she played it like, instead of this person who was knowingly like sexy and trying to seduce this guy, she played it like kind of a naive, unintelligent prostitute who's just matter of fact about things. And it was hilarious. You can actually see it on YouTube. I highly recommend it. It's hilarious. Just that scene. I don't know about the movie. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, anyway, so she talks about in her book that she didn't know what she was selling. She wasn't that girl that the headshot made her look like. So instead, she tried this photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Pam from The Office. And with that headshot,
100%.
she ended up getting that audition, and then she totally killed it. And she was Pam. So you have to know your adjectives. So for that, it would be sweet, trustworthy, open, cute, vulnerable. The other one, not so much.
Yeah.
So you have to know what you're representing yourself as in your headshot. And this is also why you don't want to get your friends to shoot your headshots unless they're professional headshot takers, because anyone who's in the business can see you got your friend to get your headshot. And that's one of the things she actually talks about in her book. Like, don't do this. You're basically putting yourself out as someone who's not professional if you do that. So guys, if you're listening, get professional headshots. There are options for cheaper headshots if you can't afford like the best of the best. But definitely talk with someone. If you have a manager's supposed to help sell you. That's what managers do. They're the ones who get you in contact with casting directors and, different projects. They're the ones who get you meetings with casting directors for parts and shows that you might actually fit into. So that's what a manager is supposed to do. And a manager is also supposed to be realistic with you and look at what you're selling, what you can actually do, what parts would be best for you to play. So ask your manager, get a manager, look for a manager, ask your friends, have those deep, realistic conversations, be honest with yourselves, and get the best headshot you possibly can with a professional.
Part of the reason why I went with Natasha as well in the first place is, number one, she's a good friend, and she's been wanting to do something like that for a little bit, but number two, she's a professional model. And so she's been on both sides of the camera in that kind of industry for a number of years now. So for something that was just quick, and I wanted something good that I can put up as at least my profile pictures for that kind of marketing myself, that level of it, I knew I could go to her and trust her. But now I'm definitely starting the process of looking around for a professional headshot to get that done.
Yeah,
Hopefully
that's
within
going to
the
be
next couple
key.
weeks.
very key. And also, as soon as you change your look, Gabe's, like, for example, doing the exact right thing, guys, is you're supposed to change your headshots as soon as possible. That way they don't see, hey, I like this guy's full head of hair in this photo. I'm gonna get this guy specifically because we needed a guy with hair that's red. And, you know, it's just an example. But then they call him in and oh my gosh, he's bald.
What happened to those luscious locks?
And then they're like, well, what can we cast him in? Is there any part for him in this film? But all of that questioning could have been avoided with just a new headshot, folks. Mm-hmm. Buy a headshot today at Headshots R Us. Yeah, we have a good guy in town, Natasha and I. So the girl who shot your photos, Gabe, good friend of ours. She actually got me in with a great headshot guy in town. Had a great deal running, and so I did that a year ago. And I will definitely recommend him to you after this video is over. I was
gonna say, send him my info once we're done recording.
Yeah. So Natasha and I think we both got our headshots from the same guy, unless she has more, because she has done a lot of photo shoots, way more than I. But anyway, I wanted to show you. I wanted to ask you if you know who other actors are bald. Go ahead and
other actors who are bald.
Yeah. Did you do that? The research. There are many famous actors who are bald.
I haven't looked much into that yet. I didn't know I had the homework assignment that I needed to do. First one that comes to mind right now is definitely Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
He's the first
He's
one that
actually
comes
number
to mind.
one on Google.
Yeah. I would say... Let's see... Oh, crud. There's I'm seeing faces flashing in front of my eyes when I'm trying to remember names. Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yes, indeed. One. He is the fourth on this list. Can you guess who's the second?
Who's number 2? Oh.
He is hot, and he is, talks like this. Oh, no, he's more British. He talks like this.
I'm trying to think, because I know... Where's Vin Diesel on the list?
Oh, he's a fifth. No, dang. Fifth.
Dang, I keep moving in the wrong direction. I need...
Yeah, you're missing 2 really big ones.
Oh. Gruff and talks with a British accent. Where is The Rock number 3?
Yes, he is. Dwayne Rock Johnson.
Okay.
All right, second.
I'm gonna kick myself.
I fell off a car, broke my other arm. I think I showed you that monologue before. It's from Spy. He's in Spy. Big hint. I mean, he's been in so much. I just love that movie.
I'm gonna kick myself once.
Do you want me to give you another hint?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me. Hobbs and Shaw.
Why? I know it. I'm just trying to remember his name.
Yep. And 3, 2, 1. 0.5.
I know him. I know him. I'm literally just trying to remember his name, and I hate this. Jason Statham.
Yay! You were 1 second away from demise. Okay. Next, he was in... Okay, guess this actor. He was in, Devil Wears Prada.
I haven't seen Devil Wears Prada.
Oh my gosh, Gabe, what are we doing? Come over this instant. We need to watch a movie.
All right, we're stopping the recording right now, everybody.
Okay, bye, guys. Oh gosh, that movie is so good. You got to see it. I mean, Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway. Can you get any? Oh my God, Emily Blunt.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah, there was that whole bit at the Oscars with the 3 of them, wasn't there?
Yeah.
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 It was all referenced to.
Where Meryl was a straight
DWP.
face. Like, look how she's acting, not like she doesn't care, or that she's not angry. And she was like,
because she's an excellent actress. I just saw that actually. That clip came across my Facebook news feed today, actually. The algorithm
I love
knew. The algorithm knew that we would be talking about this today.
The algorithm tells our fates. The algorithm can see the future. Oh my god! The algorithm will tell me how I will die.
The algorithm.
The algorithm told me this would happen. Okay, the sixth guy on the list is Stanley Tucci.
Hey, the Tooch. I like the Tooch.
The Tooch. Yeah, he's great in Devil Wears Prada. Fantastic. He actually got married to Emily Blunt's cousin or sister.
Really?
I have to figure that out. Maybe, I think it's her sister. Anyway, we'll figure it out. So Samuel L. Jackson is the next guy.
Of
Anyway, my
course.
point is there's a lot of handsome men on this list.
That's true.
Ooh. Yeah, so one guy, so based on your looks and everything, I always thought that your career could take off once you get a little older. And, you know, I don't want to say more mature as if you were immature, but more mature in age is what I mean. The roles that you would be really good for, like, oh, what's the one that you love with that pig monologue?
Pigment. Oh, Snatch. Yeah.
Snatch. Like, stuff like Snatch you would be really, really good at. Really grungy stuff. Mm-hmm. Stuff that's full of character, you know?
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever, or I really never have fit into that kind of, like, young action star kind of stuff. Like, I was always more a fan of that kind of guy. I hate this. Guys, listeners, do you ever have that thing happen where you can remember something or somebody's name until you try to tell it to someone else? That'll be the poll. That'll be the poll, the Spotify poll on this week's episode. Does that ever happen to you? Because it's
Leave
so
a comment
annoying.
below. I don't know if Spotify has comments. Probably doesn't.
I don't know. Leave a review and tell us.
Yeah, we're going to start a YouTube channel, guys. So you can watch these videos soon, and it will be called Two Starving Artists. So look us up on YouTube. youtube.com/twostarvingartists. But yeah, so next quiz. So
Didn't know I was getting
I don't know
quizzed
if you-
today.
I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to bring up, Gabe, but that was all I had for the bald actors.
Not really, except that I'm enjoying it so far. Like, I've
You're
had
enjoying
to, there have been only a couple of days where I've had to, like, put sunscreen on my head to make sure that I don't sunburn up there, which would be horribly uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was actually my next question is what is different about your daily routine now?
Showering actually takes a lot less time. Like, that's probably the most immediate one, because I'm basically just able to take care of the top of my head, but just use soap body washer. I'm actually learning about that right now, doing some investigation on whether or not I still need to use shampoo on my bare scalp to see how that goes. But otherwise, like, if I can tell my skin up there is getting a little bit dry, because like I used to suffer from dandruff. So if I can tell that my skin up there is getting dry, I'm able to just take some body lotion, normal body lotion, and just put it up there on top of my head, and it works great. It's been working great. Otherwise, I'm still getting used to like feeling every minor passing breeze, you know, that grazes the top of my scalp. Exactly, because I'm like,
Spider!
I'll be in a room where I'm not used to feeling wind currents, but because I don't have any hair up there shielding my head anymore, I'll just be like,
Yeah, so my survival guides, who I would bring with me to survive the apocalypse, you have now risen on the list, because now you can tell me where the breezes are,
yeah, there you go. It's
where the wind is.
Wait. That direction.
Wait, let me listen to my hair follicles. That way.
Tell me, follicles, tell me. Which direction shall we go?
Which direction shall we go? Away!
So, yeah, but no.
Bold senses. Oh, like baldy, like spidey senses.
Baldy senses, I'll take it.
Baldy
I
senses,
like it.
yeah.
I've already had a number of friends, both in person and on Facebook, who I've only known them with shaved heads, welcoming me to the Bald Brotherhood, and it's been a time. It's been a wonderful time.
There is a brotherhood
of bald men.
Oh, man. Okay, so here's the thing. Now that you're actually bald, we need to watch She's the Man, because it has the best baldy representational monologue I've ever in the world.
Especially since I still haven't seen She's the Man either, so...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's okay. These movies I am listing are leaning toward the girly side. So
Which,
it's understandable you haven't seen them.
It's understandable. Well, I haven't, really the only chick flick I think I've ever seen is Miss Congeniality.
Chick flick? Excuse, what?
That's how
Chick
it was
flick.
marketed to me, is as a
Miss
chick flick.
Congeniality is a movie that my dad loved, I will have you know. Sir.
Oh, no, and your dad is a wonderful, wonderful man.
But I mean, he liked watching a lot of things with me. Like, he would watch She's the Man with me because it was funny. Anything funny, he was like, yes, let's watch it. So, Miss Congeniality, She's the Man, Princess Diaries, what else? Well, Pink Panther's not a chick flick, is it? We like that movie a lot.
Is Princess Diaries a chick flick, technically?
Princess Diaries? Yeah, with Anne Hathaway. Are you thinking of Princess Bride?
No, the Anne Hathaway movie where it turns out she's the Princess of Genovia.
Yes, that would be considered a chick flick, I think.
All right, then I've seen two.
Yes,
In
I
my-
bet you.
in my
Have
life.
you seen The Holiday?
With Ryan Reynolds?
With Jude Law. No, Jude Law.
Oh, Jude Law.
And
No.
Cameron Diaz
No,
and
The
Kate
Proposal is the one
Winslet
I
and
was thinking.
Jack Black.
I have not.
Directed by Nancy Myers.
I have not.
Music by Hans Zimmer.
I have.
Oh, my soul. Oh my gosh. So that monologue from Kate Winslet where she's talking about unrequited love and stuff and it's all sad. That was the first monologue I ever memorized in my entire life.
I have a feeling that monologue will resonate with me. Something fierce.
I mean, I hope it doesn't. It's really sad.
Well, no,
At least I
unrequited
hope-
love. Oh heck yeah, that'll hit home.
Yeah. I mean, it hits home for a lot of us.
Yeah.
That's why I memorized it
Yeah.
in high school. Oh man, I even wrote a song. It was like, far from my heart, I watched you sail away.
I love it.
Far
love it.
from my broken heart, I think is what it's called.
What?
Anyway.
That sounds metal. No, that sounds like emo right
Oh my
there.
god, it should be a metal song. It really should.
Far
remake it.
from my heart, what you sail away. I love it. I love it.
Man, I should have been an emo kid.
I have no doubt that I would have been a scene kid back in the day. Like, knowing the types of music that I like to listen to now. Like, I grew up in a household with very, very conservative parents when it came to the media that I was allowed
Same.
to consume.
I
And
had
that's
to fight for punk music to even find it.
See, like, we were only ever allowed to listen to, like, Air One and K-Love.
Oh.
Like, those kind of Christian stations. So I had experience with, like Reliant K, with MXPX, with Switchfoot, like those kind of bands. That's what I was allowed to listen to.
What about Creed?
Little bit of Creed, not much. A little bit of Creed. A lot of
That
Jeremy
was-
Camp, though.
Okay.
And
But was Creed the farthest you were allowed to go? Because that was true with my family.
like Creed, like Skillet, like that kind of thing.
Oh,
Those
Skillet,
were
yeah.
like, if they were a Christian band, we were allowed to listen to it. And so
Interesting.
going back as an adult and checking out all of these things that I wasn't allowed to watch or listen to back in the day, number one, I'm able to look at it with a much more I don't want to say critical eye, but like I'm able to consume it from a more like mature standpoint, I think you can say. And it's like I'm able to look at things and be like, you know what? I am totally fine with the fact that I missed out on that. In fact, I don't even feel like I missed out on it. Or there are other things where it's like, you know what? like a lot of the punk bands that I'm listening to right now. I'm big into pop punk. Like I really like that kind of bright. It's got like, you know, the bright happy sound to it, but the lyrics are like really dark. Because I'm able to
cut open my heart, die.
Sail away from my broken heart. I'm able
Sail
to.
away from my broken heart.
I'm able to go back and listen to those things now, and it's really interesting because I'm sitting there going like, you know what? I can remember feeling this way. I can remember. I in some ways I still do emotionally identify with them, but like I can remember being in stages of life where I really identified with the music that I'm listening to right now. And so I absolutely would have been one of those, like, you know, punk scene kids, you know, maybe even emo back in the day, back in high school between 2006 and 2010.
That being said, what about the movies, like the punk movies, like Donnie Darko? Have you seen that movie? Oh man, that was a cult classic, Gabe.
I know, and the fact that the cult emphasis on cult classic is probably one of the reasons why my parents never let me watch it.
Yeah, so like Fight Club and Donnie Darko. I watched Donnie Darko by myself, but Fight Club I watched it with my dad, and literally my dad was like, you know what? Just don't think about the meaning of this movie. Like, let's just not. Because I was like going into depth. I was like, what does it mean? The destruction of the city. What does it mean, Dad? Like, let's think about it. He's like, let's not. Like,
remember rule number 1 in the beginning of
you don't talk about Fight Club.
Exactly. Let's not.
Yeah. I mean, I see why. I totally latched on to the idea that all this materialism is stupid. I was like, heck yeah. And my dad was like, that's true. And then we got to the ending and we're like, oh, fatalism. Oh. But, I mean, fatalism. Yeah, we could title this podcast just Fatalism. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
That'll be the title, Fatalism and Other Fun Topics.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I watched, I got into the zone in high school, like late high school, where I just watched a bunch of things that were supposed to be like the best films ever. And I just got really into that. But it brings you down some dark roads. Like I could not, why does this happen to me every time we podcast? It never happens to me
Drink some water,
when I'm recording. I do, and it doesn't happen when I'm talking to people. Like when I'm actually talking to people in real life, not over a podcast, I'm like talking fine. And then I'm like, on here. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, movies and stuff.
You were watching a whole bunch of movies that were listed as the best movies of all time, and it took you to a weird place.
Speaking of one of the best movies of all time, Pirates of the Caribbean. One of the best. One of the freaking best. And
another one that was so much better than it had any right to be. It was based on a Disneyland ride. with no overarching story.
Yeah, we stand for Johnny Depp in these trying times, these trialing times. But also, yes, but also, he made that movie what it was. Like every single scene with Johnny made that movie so much better. And I remember watching it. There was only a few movies my dad did this with. So me and my dad, movies were our thing. You know what I mean? So I remember watching it, and he was like, "This is a classic." And I remember that was a really, really special thing for him to say about any movie. But I was like, why is this a classic? So I was watching it with like, why did he say that? Interesting. And, you know, it had just come out, but it is a classic, and I will stand by that. It is like now up there with Indiana Jones, in my opinion.
Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, as
far as
the production values and the score, oh my goodness, the score. And
I hold it as a classic.
Yeah, you know what? As time goes on, I think I do more as well. I actually need to watch it again. I need to
Yeah. We have a lot of movies
come
to
over,
watch.
come over and hang out and let's watch it again sometime.
Let's do. And I'm not going to watch Donnie Darko again. Upon my life, I can't stand that movie. I'm sorry, guys. I just can't.
Any Donnie Darko stands out there, we apologize.
I apologize, but man, I was super interested until the end. So anyone who's watched that movie, you will understand. I was like, what the heck? There was so much mystery, so much to solve, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And you need to, it all makes sense when you read the book. Apparently, I had to have friends explain it to me.
Interesting.
But that took years.
All right, so real quick, we got a few minutes left. Brooke, why don't you? Those of you who are watching on the video version of the podcast, you're seeing it right now. Might have seen Brooke's new adornment, her new little bit of artwork on her wrist there.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke, why don't you tell us about your new tattoo that you just got?
Yeah, so I told Instagram and all social media, pretty much every social media I had at the time.
And now we're telling you guys, podcast listeners.
Well, yeah, I told you guys, I told everybody that if we raise $10K for our film Elena, the PSA for our nonprofit, which is under post-production right now. We just finished filming it. Woo! Gabe was in it, I was in it, but I was mainly just producing it. So if we raised 10K, I said I would get a tattoo live on Instagram. And then we raised 10K. It was crazy. And so I was like, I got to hold up my end of the bargain. But I was just undergoing the immense responsibilities of producing this film. So I had to figure out, like, when are we going to do this? When are we going to do this? And then they dissolved my position at my job, and I had to switch jobs really quick. So I was like, okay, money now. It's not just time, it's money. Mm-hmm. So the other day, I was like, Gabe, okay, here's the thing, guys. I wanted a tattoo for a really long time. Been thinking about it for 10 years, you know? So when I promised this, I knew it's been years of contemplation, and also I wasn't going to get it because of acting. I was like, it's going to complicate things. I have to mention out on every single freaking audition that I have a tattoo. I have to give a picture of it. It's just not worth the trouble. I always think of Angelina Jolie in Tomb Raider when she's in the water and her makeup's coming off a little bit. Tomb Raider, come on, anyone, shout out. You can see it a little bit. It looked like bruises, so I was like, oh, wow, she has bruises. And then my family was like, no, that's actually tattoos. They were covering up her makeup. And I was like, what? She has tattoos? Yes, she does, folks.
She does.
Anyway, so I was like, I don't want to cause people on set that much trouble, so I just never got a tattoo. And this changed everything, you know? After years and years of researching, I was like, you know what? It's doable. It's doable. I have friends who have tattoos who are acting full-time, like part-time, whatever. And then I was like, I'm just going to make it a big thing. My tattoo should be a big thing, you know? And then my Instagram account got disabled. So I couldn't do it live as promised. But anyway, time, money. Then the money was no problem, because Friday the 13th apparently is a tradition where you can get a tattoo for like $30 or less.
At least at this one shop that we went to, it was.
Actually, I think it's a tradition everywhere. It's a Friday the 13th tradition.
Tattoo artists, down in the comments, let us know.
Yeah, first and final thing, like, they even comment on Spotify? I don't.
Well, I mean, they'll be able to
YouTube.
do it on YouTube.
YouTube, yeah. Yeah, so I was like, okay, I have no excuse now. I must give the people what I promised. So I got a friggin' tattoo by calling Gabe up and was like, Gabe, can you film this? Because that was our plan. And shout out to Gabe for hustling to meet me last minute, the day of Friday 13th, right after I found that out. And I scrounged up some money and I ended up getting this tattoo for no deal at all, apparently. This was going to cost $30 anyway because of its size. So
it's about the size of a quarter, right?
Yeah, so it would have cost the same amount that I paid for it. But, that's good to know. I got bamboozled. But anyway, yeah, I got a tattoo. It finally happened.
Yeah. I'm planning on getting one at some point. I don't know when exactly I'm going to do it, but at like somewhere like right here.
What are you going to get?
My inner arm. I'm thinking I'm going to get a some form of Celtic cross.
Oh, yeah,
if I'm gonna invest fully. I've had people tell me that I need to start embracing the kind of like metal Viking, heavy metal Viking aesthetic.
Yeah, and your baldness would certainly fit into that now. I mean, it would have fit in anyway. I think steampunk, classy steampunk, would look really, really good on you.
Agree.
I can't say because I don't know, but I maybe like the metal beads on your beard if you let it grow out.
Yeah,
Like your friend Rudy.
Yeah, I could once this gets longer, I could put at least like a little silver clasp in it right there.
Yeah, that would look really good.
See how it goes. But yeah, I'm thinking about just a simple Celtic cross on my inner right forearm is what I'm thinking at the moment.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, from what I've heard, casting directors they want to cast us. You know, like it's not like they're looking for excuses to not cast someone. They're looking for excuses to find the right person. So tattoos should not be a problem. So that's what I found out. So that's why I finally gave in. But I got the Star of David tattoo because I'm part Jewish on my mom's side. Part Jewish. I'm Jewish on my mom's side.
Yeah.
Fully Jewish since on my mom's side. Anyway, boop, boop, doop, boop.
And it looks really, really good. She took it like a champ,
Thanks.
y'all. Brooke has a vlog channel that you'll have to go check out on YouTube. That'll be going up here in the next couple weeks, right? That vlog video?
Next couple weeks. And guys, I am competing to be Miss Health and Fitness. So
Yeah,
go
she
vote.
is.
Go
Yeah,
vote.
she is.
And you can vote online for free somewhere. You know, I got to find that link again. But you can go vote.
We'll make sure to include a link to vote in the YouTube notes below
Yeah.
as well. Or
so
if you would like to inquire about it sooner, we can send it to you. If you want to shoot us an email to the2starvingartists@gmail.com, we can send it to you there as well, or on our socials.
Yes, indeed. So I'm trying to find like the exact link. Open in browser. Perfect. Okay, so that's going to be misshealthandfitness.com slash 20/2022 / Brooke BROOKE -BUT. That was a lot.
Brooke Butt.
Yeah. Brooke Butt. That is the one fatal flaw of my name. Like if they cut it off, if they were like, okay, the last 4 letters of your name, it's BUTT, guys. And I was like, at school, they had to ask me, and it was like the first something of your social and then the last 4 of your name for lunch. You have to pay for it with like this password, and it was always, okay, could you spell that out for me? And I was like, BUTT. And I always had to like side eye. Did anyone hear that? It was so embarrassing.
I'm so thrilled, so happy about this right now.
I like butter, but like butt? Come on. Like, let's just add in a few more letters there or take one away, you know?
Or heck, if you add even one letter in, then it's Butte. Like Butte, Montana.
Butte? What's Butte, Montana?
It's a city
Educate me.
in the state of Montana.
Oh, gotcha.
Uh-huh.
But on YouTube, link will be below.
Yeah.
And if not, you know. What is our email, by the way, Gabe? If someone wants to send in questions or other,
detailed
I don't know,
it.
send in
Or just
anything but pictures, guys. No weird stuff.
Anything but pictures. Our email is, I'm pulling it up real quick just so I can make sure I've got it right. It is the2starvingartists@gmail.com. It's all one word. It's the word 2, not the number. the2starvingartists@gmail.com. If you want to...
the2starvingartists@gmail.com.
Yes, it is, because 2 Starving Artists was taken, and 2 Starving Artists ATL was also taken. So I figured I would just go the 2 Starving
Am I going
Artists.
crazy, or did I already take what we were looking for? Is it because I took it, or did you make one?
No, that was the
one
2
I
Starving
made?
Artists is the one that I made. So it's possible that you might have stolen the one that we were trying to get.
Let me
And
check.
we just forgot.
Haha. That's hilarious. I mean, let me just double check. Nope, that's the one I have as well. It's the2starvingartists@gmail.com. So do not email 2starvingartists@gmail.com, guys. They are imposters.
Uh-huh.
They are bureaucrats. Do not email them. Email the good people, which is us.
Us.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Those people are probably really nice.
We are the two starving artists.
The two starving artists at gmail.com. So
But
email us
anything
your
else?
questions, topics that you'd like us to touch on, anything. We will be happy to answer those questions for you
If
guys.
you have a pet, send us a picture of your pet. We'll take that.
but
as well.
nothing else. And Gabe will be checking those emails, so
Yeah,
protect Gabe's eyes, please.
please. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
I won't be looking at any emails with pictures in it. I will have Gabe check
I
it.
know. Yeah, I know. But that is all the time that we have for today. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in and listening as we like to talk on and off subject about life,
Everything.
about artistry, about acting. This is
And
a lot of fun.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun. I think we have something really fun planned for next week, too.
We do indeed. We're going to be playing a bit of a game of some sorts, but I
it's
don't
a
know what
secret.
it is. He's not telling me. So hurry.
Oh, it's going to be so much
next
fun.
week. Hurry up next week.
Yeah, and thanks for joining us, guys. Your one-stop shop for learning about acting, talking about... We're basically the theater kids, and we can also be the cool people you listen to or the dorks, whatever you view us as. I don't know. I'm kind of talking us into the ground, aren't I? Okay,
Yeah,
well,
just a little bit.
I was going to say we are the non-stop shop for the non-stop. What am I
Non-stop.
saying?
This shop does not stop.
We are a non-stopping shop for all that is artists, right?
Perpetual shop.
We are two artists. We are two actors. We're theater kids at heart, and we are here to talk with you on your trips, when you're washing the dishes, when you're on a hike and you have cell service, or maybe you downloaded it. Maybe you're on a plane, you downloaded our podcast to listen to. Who knows? But we're here to listen and talk.
Talking
in your ear.
directly. Talk directly into your ear holes.
Hello, friend. We're in your ear. We're like little wormies in your ear. We're like the two starfish in
Let's
another
stop.
chick flick that Gabe needs to see. Aquamarine, Gabe. It's such a fun, happy movie. We're the
And
two
I'll take your word
starfish
for it.
earrings.
I will take your word for it. Ladies
You
and
are
gentlemen,
so
thank you so much
lovely.
for listening. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, lovely people.
Bye.